Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Hey everybody, welcome to the California coast. Today our journey towards Big Sur begins just north of the town of Cambria here at Moonstone Beach, and we're going to work our way up the PCH, the Pacific Coast Highway, and take in all its grandeur and beauty along the way. Join me on this journey, you won't regret it. As you can see, we've got some surfers out in the water now catching some cool, tasty waves. So we're gonna zoom in on that and check that out. While the surfers are busy surfing in the water, we're gonna go over here and check out some painters doing some plein air painting of the coast. They're just working under the trees in the nice cool shade. It's unbelievable. It's like there's an air conditioner on under those trees. Pretty awesome. This is just a great spot to come out and unwind from daily life.
Cambria sits on that ragged stretch of California coast where the land seems to exhale, slowly, salty, and just a little bit haunted. You've got weathered wooden buildings, locals who look like they've outlived a few versions of themselves, and an ocean that doesn't sparkle so much as brood. Grab a drink somewhere unpretentious, maybe something strong enough to cut through the fog, and watch it roll in like it owns the place, because it does. What you're looking at now is Nitwit Ridge, and it isn't some polished architectural marvel. It's what happens when one man decides the rules don't apply. As we head up the California coast, there's nothing polite about Elephant Seal Beach. No elegance, no pretense, just a stretch of California coast where several tons of blubber and attitude pile onto the sand like they've got nowhere else to be. Big Sur isn't just a place, It's the kind of vast, indifferent beauty that reminds you of how small your concept of immensity really is. It's honest in a way most places aren't. No staging, no illusion, just wind and waves grinding away at the edges of time. One side all jagged earth and stubborn trees, the other side dropping off into a cold, endless Pacific that doesn't care whether you're watching or not. You drive, you stop, maybe you eat something simple that tastes better than it should, and somewhere out there between the fog rolling in and the horizon refusing to end, you realize infinity just isn't an idea out here. It's a feeling, heavy and quiet, settling into your bones whether you're ready for it or not.
I'm in the redwood forest behind the library, the famous bookstore here in Big Sur. You have to come and stop and check it out and take in the energy and the vibes here. Pretty cool, very relaxing, very chill. So some of the sculpture work, I don't know if you're familiar with the artist that does the Slayer covers. It kind of looks like the sculpture version of that artist's work. Pretty radical, pretty weird.
It isn't so much a library as it is an act of quiet rebellion that never quite ended. It's part bookshop, part hangout, part cultural shrine to a guy who didn't care much for the rules in the first place. There's music sometimes, the occasional gathering that feels more like a secret than an event. It's unpolished, a little worn in, and completely uninterested in impressing you, which, of course, is exactly why it does.
Okay, so that'll do it for us here at the Henry Miller Memorial Library. Be sure to stop and check it out. It's not always open, but when it is, it's absolutely worth the stop when you're visiting Big Sur. Kind of an eclectic little slice of the redwood forest.
Phoenix Shop feels like the kind of place you wander into without a plan and leave with something you didn't know you needed. It's all wood, shadow, and quiet intention. Handmade jewelry, worn books, little objects that look like they've got stories baked into them. No hard sell, no tourist trap energy, just the low hum of incense and the sense that time moves differently here. Outside, Big Sur is all cliffs and drama, the ocean throwing its weight around. You don't rush to a place like this, you let it happen. You pick something up, turn it over in your hands, and maybe, if you're paying attention, you walk out with more than just a souvenir.
So I climbed the stairs up here to Neptune's restaurant. It's just above the Phoenix gift shop down below. And the views up here are absolutely awesome. Let's check them out. If you want to take in some awesome views, kick back, have a couple of drinks, and check out the coastline of Big Sur, I recommend you come here. Sandwiched in between Phoenix Gift Shop and Neptune's restaurant above is Cafe Cava, and you can come here and get a coffee and just chill out without having to commit to a full meal. Great stop on your way to Big Sur, or we're in Big Sur. Great stop on your way to the campgrounds. Just behind me here is Partington Cove, one of the many little stops and coves and alcoves along the way on the PCH here in Big Sur. If you have the legs, stamina, and adventurous spirit, I suggest you stop on impulse and explore around. You never know what you're going to find. Look at the gem I just found here now. We're going to work our way down there right now to the shoreline of Partington Cove. The trail splits and you can actually go into the ravine that we saw that comes down where all the redwoods tend to grow on the 450 miles of redwood forest coast. They seem to like to grow in the ravines, at least in the middle of California. On our next trip, we'll check out Northern California redwoods and see if the same thing is true. I imagine that it is, but now we're in microclimate and it's like there's an air conditioning on versus like the high 80s out there in the sun on the Pacific Coast Highway. So we're gonna come down here and check out the creek and see what's doing. And you can see trees have fallen, a lot of wildness going on. Sunbeams coming through. Redwoods off in the distance there, redwoods. Very, very nice. Very, very wild. Very, very Big Sur. Big old redwood right there. All right, so we made it down to the bottom of the cove, and you can see from the ravine, the creek has come all the way down and empties out into the Pacific Ocean here, where it's crashing against the cove rocks. You can feel the cool air coming off the Pacific Ocean. They call it the world's largest air conditioner, which is a tremendous contrast from up there on the Pacific Coast Highway where it's in the high 80s again. So we've got microclimates happening all around Big Sur, depending on where you are on the topography. All right, I just found a bridge across the creek here, and there's a tunnel that's going to take us to another cove just up from the cove we were just at. So we're going to go through this tunnel and check it out. It should be very cool. I hear it's amazing over there. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. All right, so we're coming around the bend here through the tunnel. And check this out. Magic money right here, people. Beautiful. This is pretty cool. If there's more, it's gonna get cooler, people. And I think there is more because I saw a couple of guys earlier at the top of the cove with some fishing rods, and I haven't seen them yet. So I think there's more to come. Let's work our way down the trail now. Oh yeah, more great stuff here. Oh yeah, babe. Just like Emerald says. Oh yeah, babe. Kick it up a notch. Whatever that weird noise is. We made it on top of the rocks here to the next part of the cove, and it's like 2 coves side by side. So really we've got 3, a trifecta of coves right here to explore today. So yeah, man. Yeah, I'd say we're doing it. I can't believe this is beautiful. I would just love to stay here all day. But we've got to get up to Pfeiffer State Campground. Big Sur is a total Mother Nature's marvel, man. We're here right now at McQuay Falls overlooking it. Unfortunately, the hiking trail to go down to the falls itself on the beach is closed for repairs, so we're not able to make it today, but enjoy the views from up top here. I'm totally bummed that that trail down to McQuay Falls where it hits the beach is closed for renovation, but we still have beautiful redwood trees to see here at the Pfeiffer State Park, and we're gonna go ahead and check those out. If you guys like what you see, you gotta come out and check Big Sur out. The Pacific Coast Highway Drive is totally amazing. And we're just gonna cut through some of these trees here and work our way over to the creek and check out these redwood tree bad boys. These redwoods are definitely huge trees. They're not as big as some of the bigger redwoods in the sequoias and Redwood State Park up north, but they're impressive and they're total legitimate 100% redwood trees. Just check out this bark. I wonder how old this guy is, 300-400 years? He's probably older than America. That's a log jam right there. Traveling along the Pacific Coast Highway, there are countless overlooks with these sorts of beautiful views. It spans about 60 miles from Hearst Castle, approximately, all the way up to Big Sur and beyond, heading towards Carmel. It'll take your breath away every single time. You never quite get used to it. Good morning from Pfeiffer State Park. It's our first morning after hiking and checking out Pfeiffer Burns Park. And we're here in the park. We just camped overnight. You can see the stars above and the redwood trees leading up to your view of the stars all around you. It's an awesome campsite. I highly recommend it. We're going to check out another one too called Fernwood a little bit later and see how that is. Apparently they have some great camping by the river and we're going to take advantage of that. And just down the way, there's a swim hole where all the campers staying at Pfeiffer State Park can jump in the river and wet their whistle. As you can see, the tree trunk behind me is absolutely enormous. The redwood trees here in Middle California are not as big as the ones in Northern California. These average 250 feet along the coastline here in Big Sur at their maximum height. And further north, they go as high as 350 feet due to different climates. At their maximum height, when they get up to 250 or 350 feet, some of these trees will be over 1,000 years old, which is incredible if you think about it. How much human history has passed in the last 1,000 years. Well, I don't know about you all, but I'm excited to get up to Pfeiffer Falls, so let's start heading up that way right now. Just off in the distance is the Pfeiffer Trail. Let's stop and take a look at the history of the forest here. A little ditty about the trees here, a walk through time. As I was saying, there's some of these trees are over 1,000 years old, and it goes through human history, showing us, and here shows the rings of the forest, so you can tell a tree's age by the number of rings that it has, and I guess they'll go out to 1,000. And let's go around to the other side. Forest trees you can see. Coastal redwoods. All kinds of different forest life here. All right, so we're on our way to Pfeiffer Falls. Let's begin the hike. Here's the trailhead right here. Pfeiffer Falls, Valley View Trail. One comment I want to make while we're going through the forest here is you cannot see on video just how enormous and huge these redwood trees are. They do not translate. You have to experience it in person, and this is a great place to do it. It's magnificent, humongous, enormous, incredible, breathtaking, you got to come and hike through Big Sur. All right, so I hiked up the trail and here we are at Pfeiffer Falls. You can see it's not as dramatic as McQuay Falls from yesterday, but it's a beautiful little falls and worth the hike. You get to enjoy the redwood forest, and this is a nice goal for a very easy half-hour hike or so. All right, so we just emerged from the extended trail hiking from Pfeiffer Falls towards the top of this particular mountain peak. We've reached the tree line and we're going to take a look at how it looks from up here. I just wanted to stop and take a second to recognize John Muir's hard work and his visionary work in preserving natural landscapes like this for him, our generation, and future generations to enjoy. Thank you, Mr. John Muir. Thanks for tagging along to Big Sur. Hope you liked the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.